What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Active Self Protection Extra. I am Christopher Bean with Tactical Advantage, and today we're actually going to have a little dry fire session.
Palm pepper spray is next generation OC spray. It's hot at 1.4% major capsaicinoids, and its modular design means you can customize it exactly to you. 3 different setups, lots of different color combinations. You can make it exactly as you like. And the flip top safety prevents accidental discharges. It's 10 to 12 foot range and 25 half-second blasts. Make sure that you can keep that long range eye poke at long range. I trust Palm OC and I recommend it for everyone for self-defense.
So, in one of the questions I posed in one of my recent videos, I asked if it would be beneficial for anyone to actually see one of my dry fire sessions. So that's really what we're going to do today. So really, what we've set up right now is I'm in my dry fire space. I'm looking at an IDPA target opposite of me with a down zero section. So really, just any target will do. But what I'm going to do today is focus on Riley Bowman's Pistol Intelligence Standards. So that's a group of a couple exercises, and I'm not going to be using any kind of timer. I run about 50-50 with timers or without. What I really want to focus on today is just running through some of those exercises a few times to start wrapping my head around what has to go right or what do I need to improve to actually get those standards to a performance level that I deem favorable. So, really, what we're going to be doing today is just kind of running through that a little bit, maybe making notes in my journal about what I'm seeing or what I'm experiencing. And that's really about it. It's going to take probably 10, 15 minutes. We'll see. The first thing we're going to do in the first exercise in that standard set is basically half of a test. So 5 seconds, 10 yards to a B8 target. I'm just going to use the down zero section on the IDPA target that I'm looking at. And really, what I want my dot to do is just rest on the zero on the target and try and get 5 trigger presses, get a decent draw. Not really worried about time, just worried about everything feeling and looking the way it's supposed to look, if that makes sense. So, with that, let's go ahead and get started. So, first rep. Really want to wrap my head around just being really present. That's where this stuff works. If I'm just doing repetitions for repetition's sake, I'm not really learning anything from them. So I want to really see what my presentation looks like, see where my dot comes in, see what happens when I press the trigger, experience and feel what's going on with my body. If I feel tense anywhere, and kind of correct that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Very little dot deviation there. Certainly wasn't pushing, but I don't think I need to for 5 seconds. So let's do that 1 or 2 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And why I really like to focus on this one is I have a lot of instability in my shoulders and neck. So precise work for me is kind of difficult. So I really need to pay attention to make that work right. So I'm just going to give it one more because I want my dot to be very still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay with that. All right. So just going to write in my journal real quick. B8, stable, 4 reps. All right. So next is going to be the draw standard, which is draw and fire 2. These, when we get into like the next, I believe 4, there are pretty significant time constraints because it's kind of hit factor scoring. So it's your time divided by your points. So I'll be trying to work a little bit quicker on this, but still want very good repetitions. So draw fire 2, 1, 2. Okay, dot stayed right on the 0. When I say the 0, I don't mean the down 0 area. I mean the 0 on the target. Do that a few more times. 1, 2. All right, that would have been in the down 0 area at about 10 o'clock. It still would have been in, but not really where we want it. So let's figure out what was going on there. 1, 2. Better. But we can do better still. 1, 2. That was much better. So that was vertical dot travel. Couple more. 1, 2. Good. A little bit of tension in my neck. So right around here that we don't need. 1, 2. A little bit high, still within the down 0 area. 1, 2. Okay. A little bit right in the down 0 area. So again, that's another pertinent point. I'm trying to call my shots the entire time, see what's happening when I'm actuating the trigger. That's what's telling me if that rep is good or not. 1, 2. Good. I'll do one more. 1, 2. Okay, a little bit of goof in the clear, but those were all okay. So draw fire 2, tension, neck, corrected, satisfactory, sight, pictures. All right, so next we're going to have the recoil standard, which is basically a bill drill. So draw fire 6. You guys have seen me do this before, but you get to see me do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, shot 2. My support hand was a little bit late to the gun, which caused a little bit of dancing of the dot into shot 2. Everything still remained in, but that was definitely something I want to correct. So let's fix that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Better. So as we're going through this, just constantly finding out where the technical issues are and correcting them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shot 1 would have been at about 4 o'clock in the down 0, but close to being out of the down 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Better. I'm going to do that a few more times just because we've had 2 that were anomalous. So we'll probably get about 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Presented that one a little bit high. So I'm going to purposely try and do the opposite on the next 2 and present a little bit lower into the down 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Better. Do that once more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Okay. So for bill drills, very stable. Sights are happy. Need to work on presenting a little lower. Okay. So next we have, I believe it's going to be the throttle standard. And I wonder if you guys can see this target. So I might have to shift for these next 2. So give me a second. Let me look at the camera. Let me look at my view. I'm going to change you guys just a little bit here, just so we have that. Just because IDPA doesn't have that. So we have 2 more exercises left. We have a transition standard, which is between these 2, which is a draw, fire 2, transition, transition. And then we have a throttle control, which is draw, fire two to alpha, fire two to the business card. And both of those require similar but differing techniques. So first we're going to do from this distance, this to be in frame, we're going to do the transition standard. So that's going to be draw two to A, two to B, and back two to A again. And really the key with this one is just allowing my eyes to open up and see everything I need to see. And then the gun just kind of arrives. When I'm not purposely changing my gaze or shifting my head, just seeing what I need to see at this distance, which I can see both targets, and allowing the gun to just go there. So we'll start drawing to the A, then move to the B, then back to the A. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, a little bit exaggerated in the head. Don't need to do that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. A little bit still. So I'm going to really work on keeping my head still. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, that was a little bit better. Need to do that a few more times. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Really just trying to get almost like that Bill drill rhythm where it's like bop, 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 bop. But if you take away my count, it should be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A little too much moving of the body, which I don't need to do. Okay, we'll do 2 more of those. One more. Okay. So nothing really eventful there. Wanting to turn more. Haven't really done a lot of practicing with transitions. So, at least lately. So what we're going to do now is the throttle control, which you have like a 3x5, the alpha zone, and then the business card. And what this does is it forces you to kind of pay attention to what your trigger's doing and apply the appropriate amount of care to make these hits. Obviously, I know I'm closer than 7 yards, but to stay in frame, this is about what we got to do. So I'm going to start with the business card. Hopefully, I'll try and count it that you'll be able to hear the differing level of speed, for lack of a better way to put it, being applied to the differing size targets. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I can let in the center alpha, I can let that dot play a little bit more and be a little bit more aggressive with the trigger. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Probably could have got away with that one on the index card, but it was a little aggressive. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So now just for fun, I'm going to reverse the direction and start with the business card and go the other way. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And just really paying attention to the difference in the dot behavior while we're doing that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, so now we'll start at alpha, alpha index business. 1, 2, 1, 2. Ooh, no. We lost control of that one. So I wanted to transition before I had the second trigger press on the 3x5 card. That's a good thing because I am anticipatory and want to go. So I need to reestablish control. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Better. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay with that one as well. One more. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, so that's really the gist. Normally I end with a couple reloads or some other dynamic compound things, but that's the gist of a dry fire session for me. Just going through, trying to experience what I want to experience, find the things I want to improve on, and then I'll have another session that's normally untimed where I'm directly going back on my notes and trying to work on those things in particular. Then, about twice a week, I roll into the timer and I start testing those things under time. And that's when I either throw things out or incorporate things into my technique. And that's the gist of it, guys. That's what a dry fire session looks like for me. Now, this consistently and constantly changes depending on what I'm trying to work on. But the key I want to leave you guys with, it's not really the drill, it's the concepts or application of the concepts to allow me to run these drills well. That's what I'm trying to sort out in these sessions, not just, going in and dry firing a drill. There is some value there from an exposure standpoint, but it won't necessarily make you a better shooter, if that makes sense. So keep up the great work. I will see you guys next time.